They saw the place where the possible met the impossible and moved toward it. They walked for many an hour and many a day, until, finally, they crossed the edge of paradox. Greetings, humanity, and welcome to Channel Other Doc. I am Jim, your friendly Lacuna GM. I use he/him pronouns, and this is our Invisible Sun campaign, The Edge of Paradox. Invisible Sun is a surreal slice-of-life game by Monte Cook Games. We are integrating the directed campaign, but most of this game happens spontaneously. Let's go around and say hi to the folks we have with us here today. Today we are starting with Wilde. Hello.
Yes, hello. I'm Wilde Engineer. I go by he/they pronouns, and I am playing Shantano, an itinerant empath of the Order of Apostate who splinters into fragments. They go by they/them pronouns.
Excellent. And now let us head over to Arras. Hello.
Hello, I'm Arras. My pronouns are she/they, and today I am playing Aroshka Ruzik, aromatic empath apostate who converses with everything. And her pronouns are she/her.
Excellent. And now let us head over to Anino. Hello.
Hello, everyone. My name is Anino. I use he/him pronouns, but my character, MacLeod, uses they/them pronouns. They are an established enthusiastic of the Order of the Goetica who provides a vessel for spirits.
Awesome. Yeah, let me go ahead and do a quick little audio thingy. I'm going to try to pull up the sound on the headphones just a tad, which is what I'm going off of here. We'll see if that's better. Hopefully. We shall find out. And I'll take the music down just a hint so that will compensate and hopefully voices will be louder. We'll find out. One of these days, there was once, just to go on a horrible tangent, there was once a stream that I was on. This isn't horrible, but there was once a stream. The one person I streamed with actually had us do audio through Discord, because there's a way to separate out the channels, but it requires a level of understanding of the thing I have that I do not have, but perhaps I shall have someday. I don't know. In the meantime, we'll see how this goes. I just jacked the whole thing up a little bit. But in the meanwhile, like we do with most games on this channel, we're going to be using the X card, the N card, and the O card. If we hit something that's crossing a line for one of us, any of us can type an X in the Zoom video chat or anywhere else, hold up a card or make an X symbol, and we'll back up and do something else. If something happens that we're okay having in the game, but we don't want a graphic description of it, we can type an N in the Zoom chat, and we'll fade to black on it or put it behind a veil, so it'll be there, but we won't go into detail. Finally, if we're exploring a topic or an area of roleplay that's particularly intense for us, but we want to keep going anyway, we can put an O in the chat to let us know we're okay and that we're all good to keep piling on the drama. Something else we can do is put an O with a question mark after it when we're moving into a difficult topic, or we say or we do something and then think, maybe that might have been a little too much. Then everyone else can respond to that again with an X, an N, or an O to let us know if we're still doing okay. We're also using the pause. If any of us needs to take some time, we can ask for a pause in the game while we discuss things, or just take a break for as long as anyone needs. As a reminder, just a few content warnings. This game may contain body horror, surreal imagery, spiders, snakes, and references to memory loss, death, and existential crises. At any time, you can type !ISCW in the chat, and that will pull that up. And it's also going to be on rotation. Also, please remember that we have an open door policy, which means any of us and any of you can feel free to step away from this at any time if we need to. It's just a game, and mental health is always more important. Roller 300 is also reminding us to hydrate, which is also very important just in life in general. I didn't do that, and I went yesterday, and I went out in the sun for like 2 hours. It was an interesting experience. I'll just put it that way. So let us see. So last time there was a conversation, a couple of conversations going on. Vor had a heart-to-heart with Miterend, who it turns out is one of her exes. Miterend being a priest in the Church of Midnight. They had an interesting little chat, and it's where it was like there was a little bit of heartache, because it was like they had been torn apart by the war, and or actually just before the war, because she went missing just before the war, and did not come back out of the gray until afterward. So there was dealing with that, and they just sort of determined, okay, no, we got to deal with this stuff now. There's some possible world-shattering stuff about to happen, so we got to deal with that, and then maybe we'll have coffee. And meanwhile, with everyone else, they're having a conversation with the angel Sezenua, who was telling them about the ritual of the four verities. It's basically a ritual they can use to summon four spirits called the verities, that essentially are able to answer questions. In particular, they have a particular hatred of the dark, the void, and anyone who serves it. And so they're better at answering questions about that, but it's basically like asking four very powerful seer spirits simultaneously what's up. So they were like, okay, and Mac figured out that they have that ritual at the hall of at the Goetic Hall of Records. So they will. They decided, okay, we'll go ahead and take a look, but we do need 4 people for it. We'll have to figure it out. This is more just a question of like, do we want to know what the Church of Midnight is really up to? This ritual is one way to find out. But that's apparently the Church of Midnight's busy for a couple of days, and so they're doing something important, some kind of research apparently involving digging up the graves of their own members. Not sure. But that was happening. So they went, they basically determined, okay, well, we'll probably go and take a look at that maybe. But as they were entering their neighborhood's sort of main square area, they decided, okay, we got this warning, this sort of not terribly well-veiled warning from threat from Dark-Eyed Manfred to check out our houses. While else the Dark-Eyed Manfred was trying to negotiate for a prisoner exchange that didn't happen. So Vor went to check out her house, and apparently Manfred had gone in and inverted her security spell so that, it's the way that security spell, her house is made of big cards, big playing cards, and the idea is if someone on the doorstep is trying to get in, the house will fold itself into a single deck of playing cards. It will, just the walls and all will come crumbling down into, it'll shuffle itself basically. And Manfred inverted that spell so that after you go inside, the house does that. And they managed to catch it with a little help from Sezenua. They managed to catch that ahead of time. And so Vor, ripped that part of the spell out, changed it back. And then they were like, okay, we better check out our other places. And Shantano went to check out the place that they stay, which is in a room over a coffee house called the Broken Mirror, just across the street, across the square. They went up to it, and as it was despair time, that was the choice that was. I gave a choice, and and despair was chosen. So, opened the door, looking inside this place, the owner of the coffee house, a kind of a sort of beatnik fellow, named Clellan, I believe, and an apostate named Clellan, was bound, tied to a central pillar, sitting in a chair there. And the moment they opened the door and the little bell rang, all of the color in the room got sucked into a central point that turned into a little blue sphere that hit the ground and rolled off, sucking the soul out of everything in the building. Chantino, upon seeing this happening, made an important kind of sacrifice, and that was revealing the nature of their secret soul. This is the first time we've had this happen in the campaign. Every Vizsla has a secret soul. And Chantino's, as it turns out, is the eye. This was revealed. Chantino used the ability to not let themselves vanish into their soul for a bit, but used it to help Clellan let Clellan vanish into the soul. And the way that ability is written, it works for up until sunset. So we'll see kind of how things go. It's being used a little bit differently, so we'll see sort of what's happening. It's still, not even noon yet, probably. So we'll see how it goes. But we'll have to see. One thing I will say, so as the three of you now, as Vor has faded out upon seeing this and, having made a comment, I'm beginning to see why you hate this guy. Then vanished. Into the gray. Looking in, and it's now just Clellan's body has vanished because that's how the spell works. That's how the ability works. It's like the interior of the broken mirror is covered in cobwebs and is very gray, dust and cobwebs, and it's crumbling a little bit. It's like basically it's like looking at it in a different plane of existence, as though this were like in the Pale or something. But that's kind of, so the counters, the chairs, everything, it's now just very decrepit, and everything is sort of white and gray on the inside. And Arushka, I will mention, there are two things that are going to be noticed by folks, but one is noticed by Arushka, and that is this, if you recall correctly. Granted, you have the yeah, you have the memory scramble going on, so yeah. If you recall correctly, this feels a lot like the way that one of your the device you that you apparently designed or had help designing, the device you ensorcelled that was stolen does. I am speaking of what we have occasionally lovingly called the Soul Bazooka.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, let me see if I have the do I have it here? Yes, the Soul Displacement Gun. It's interesting because it's like it's something soul getting knocked out of it. It felt, you sort of feel on an instinctual level, yes, this kind of operates. It's like that, only backwards, in a way, because this was like pulling in instead of punching out. So theoretically, the soul of this building is somewhere. The essence of this building, and possibly part of the essence of Clellan's. Chantino saved most of the essence of Clellan, but some of the essence of Clellan is probably going to be drifting around somewhere. Probably not on this plane, necessarily. It might be under a different sun. You're not sure. Because again, Vance magic escapes you at this point. It's been a while, but you remember enough to think to kind of recognize that's kind of possibly. I mean, it could be drifting around in Saturnine somewhere possibly, but it's there's something felt like it just sort of knocks it out as far as it can go, and you're not sure how this would go since it's like this was sucking it away, but there it is. The second thing that's going to be noticed most likely by Chantino, who's there at the doorstep, but everyone will see this ultimately. Chantino will just see it first. From the ceiling, you see an envelope flutter down and land on the floor in front of you.
I guess they'll pick it up and read it or open. What does it say? Anything on the outside?
It says nothing on the outside.
And I guess they'll open it.
Okay.
See what's inside.
So Chantino picks up the envelope, opens it, and there are two things inside. The first thing you will encounter is a little note, which I'm going to very briefly show the audience here real quick, whilst I'm making it visible in our other stuff. There it is. Okay. So that's the first thing that you will see. And would you like me to read it out for everyone, or do you want to do that?
You can read it out.
All right. To whom it very much concerns. As you've no doubt noticed, per the excellent advice spoken by Miss Vinaceous on our last meeting, I have, as she suggested, changed the game. I believe my point has been made. At this juncture, my employers have elected to provide you with a grace period. You have 3 days. Within that time, all 5 of you must sign the enclosed contract. Once the final signature is in place, the agreement will be magically sealed and both parties will be bound by the emblem of agreement. Sign and your woes will come to an end. If you do not sign within the allotted time period, there will be much worse in store for you. Respectfully, M.
What does the
That's the first thing.
contract say?
I shall now show you the contract. And I shall briefly show everyone the contract so that they may see at least the form of what we're talking about. There's a little piece of it's typewritten apparently, very neat. And as you pull out the contract, we, the undersigned, henceforth agree to never consciously or intentionally act against the organization known as the Vespertine, or the Vespertine's plans, their allies, or their servants. Further, should we inadvertently act against the organization, their plans, their allies, or their servants, and we are warned of this, we will cease such actions and take whatever other actions are necessary to undo our interference to the best of our ability. In exchange, the Vespertine organization agrees not to directly interfere with the lives or actions of the undersigned, their families, or their allies, as long as they abide by this agreement. Further, the Vespertine or their agents will work to undo any harm already wrought by the organization against the undersigned to the best of their ability. And there are 5 lines. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 6 lines available, but they're only enough to sign on there, and a line for a member of the Vespertine. And looking at this, yes, there is some sort of enchantment on this where it's like once you sign it, then that will activate. Activate it as a contract, basically.
Hey Max, should we trust anything from Manfred?
I don't know if Mac heard us.
I think this is a terrible contract. Why would we even sign such a thing?
I don't think I've showed anybody it yet. Did everybody get one, or is it just me?
And it's in one envelope, but it's clearly addressed to all of you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm probably not going to sign it.
Mostly just makes me want to punch somebody in the face.
Mac is just going to turn and look at Hiroshika. You? Punch someone in the face?
Well, maybe not literal physical violence. I do have a knife. I could stab them. I'm not signing it though.
Well, I guess for the most part, we're in agreement. I'll crumple it up and toss it to the side.
Agreed. So you just crumple it up and toss it? Is that what you do? Is that what you said?
Think of that.
Pretty much, yeah.
Actually, Mac is just going to borrow the contract for a quick second.
Go for it.
And he's going to draw crudely a middle finger before he folds it up nicely back into an envelope. And he's going to do a quick summoning circle.
Ah, okay.
To bring out a mailman spirit.
Awesome.
Who needs postage?
I'm gonna go ahead and draw a card since we've not done that yet today. Yeah, summoning a messenger spirit probably won't be too difficult. Let me see what we're starting with today. Ooh, okay, we don't get this card that often. It is a Gray Sun card, which I think we were already... I think I already had the Gray Sun ready. Let's find out. I did. So... The... we have very kindly reminded the audience to purchase stamps. But apparently...
You're welcome.
Yes. Let's see. So the card that has been drawn is... Oh, so this is card number 1. This is the... This is, I think, the Hidden Moon. Yes, the Hidden Moon. Let me turn to that one. Not hidden, hidden. There you go. All right. It is a gray card. Gray magic is up. Indigo magic is down. Its meanings are new beginnings, insight, intuition, foresight, looking ahead, potential danger. We talk a lot about the sun, but the moon has as much influence over our lives. It just does it more subtly, quietly. The moon is stealthy. It comes at night. It hides amid the treetops and behind tall buildings. Its light is soft and dim. The moon hides so that it can peer ahead unnoticed and catch a glimpse of even those things it should not see. The ever-changing moon reflects our changing nature, our bodies and our minds. It represents intuition. The moon is present when we feel more than we think, when something just feels right or feels wrong. That might be the moon's influence. It also represents inspiration, a sudden new idea. In divination, when Hidden Moon is played, something new begins. It suggests looking forward, not backward. But what's coming ahead might be dangerous rather than beneficial, so be wary. Okay. So, Mac, you're going to draw your summoning circle out there in front of the broken mirror, and you will see. Let me do a thing here real quick, so that's open. I forgot to open up my random thing generators, so that I can see what kind of post office spirit this is. Postal spirit. Okay, sure, why not? So this blue hovering bow tie appears in the middle of the circle. And it just sort of leans forward. Yes, how can I help you?
Well, it's great to see you. I have this very important document that needs to be sent to the Vespertine.
Ooh, Vespertine. That could be rough. It's
Why would that be rough?
Oh, they can be a little hard to track down. I can give it my best try.
Okay.
You know how? Do you know?
Oh.
Do you know where? Do you know roughly where they are?
No, I can't say I do. He's going to just give me one moment,
Okay.
and he is going to summon summon another spirit to ask questions.
This is going really well.
Excellent. So you're just gonna leave it hovering, draw a second summoning circle, and do it. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Who are we summoning now?
We are going to summon her favorite. We're going to summon Jarenith.
Okay. All right. Let's find Jarenith here in my list of things. All right. So, Jarenith will appear. Just sort of rising up again, sort of this little column of light. That looks roughly human-shaped. And in the square near the broken mirror, sort of raises its head. Ah, yes.
Hi, Jarenith.
Yes.
I just need directions. I need to know where we can deliver a mail to the Vespertine.
A particular Vespertine, or will any of them do?
Their legal department, actually.
This is an excellent question. Okay. I need to look something up real quick to see
Nope.
if I have the necessary information before I make crap up. Which, you know, is going to happen anyway, but I just want to check to see if it's here. Because you would think the Nightside book would have something. Would tell you where there might be some Vespertine hanging out. You would think that. Let's find out. Wait. I might have something. Let me see if I can find... Oh, great. Sure, yeah, let's do that. Okay. And depending on how much information you're looking for, so let's see. So this information is something that not a lot of people know. So I think that this is going to be strange if it turns out that... sorry, just doing a lot of audio. Okay, there we go. This is going to be strange if it turns out that this is the only place they're mentioned. Okay. All right, well, we're going to go with this because it's interesting. I'm trying to think things that... something Jarneth might be interested in. Got it. You don't by any chance have anything to read on you, do you?
Actually, I do. As he fishes through his pack. He pulls out the book of a Silver Hill Planning.
Is that really a reward?
Well, it's, I mean, he sort of looks at it. He looks at you. Do you hold it forward? He's like, seems to be sort of inhaling it and so on. Ah, interesting. Interesting. There's a lot of despair in there. That'll be interesting. Okay. So, let us see. You want, I presume, the present, yes?
Yes.
Nods his head. Sort of seems to turn for a moment without... Yeah, I think that Jarneth does this thing sometimes, where even if he's not inside the sphere that they sometimes put him in at the temple of Kyle Iman, he'll seem to rotate even though he's standing still. It's kind of like, you remember the face of the MCP, the Master Control Program in the movie Tron? Sometimes it would rotate, but still be in the same place. It's a little like that, where this sort of pillar of light seems to be turning, even though it's not, because it's also a humanoid. So the eyes light up for a moment, and Jarneth says, and he says, well, their legal department, as you call it, is a bit variable, but can be found at Club Maldoror.
Club Meldor. Okay.
And I think that the bow tie starts, just sort of perks up again, hovering in his circle. He's like, "Oh boy, I've never been to the night side of Red before. That sounds like a great challenge." Yes, that is where it is. The night side of the Red, that club.
Okay, well, I can't say that I was not expecting that. But I don't think that's a place that we would necessarily want to go to at this time, so here you go. Knock yourself out. He's going to hand the envelope over to the bow tie.
Okay. So, did you actually write a complaint out of some kind, or did you, or no? Yes, you did. It was a middle finger. That's basically all. Okay. So yeah, you hand the envelope to the bow tie, and he says, "Okay, I will." No matter what the conditions, no matter what the eddies and waves between the suns, I will do my best to make it there. And you see, you sort of hand the envelope over, and and as you're doing so the envelope sort of is hovering in the midst of the bow tie for a moment, sort of glowing there, kind of like you're inserting it into a slot. And he says, "Excellent. Postage to the." Do you have appropriate postage? And
Like what kind of postage?
And he will go down a. It's going to come out to you can probably cover it. It's going to be probably something not. It's probably close. You're hopping over to the red sun, the night side of the red sun, so it's probably not too far off from a mage coin. Let me take a look at. Here, let me look at the economy again, real quick. That we've been ignoring, or that I've been ignoring more than anything else. Let's see. I think I'm just going to say that it's something you can do, but it's perhaps it's steeper than sending it, across town. I'll put it that way. Let's see. The key. Let me find the money real quick. Currency. Here we go. So yeah, it's weird. Let's see. True orbs are that's too big. Crystal orbs, gem orbs. He's probably going to say it's going to be like one gem orb, which would be in shadow. That would be like 1,000 American dollars. Probably descend that far. That's a ways. Hang on. No, you know what? I'm going to cut it in half. So that'd be actually more like 50 crystal orbs to send it. It is a thing where if you go around. I will say that at present, because we've been abstracting money, that if you pool, then yeah, you should have enough. It won't take away too much of what you have, but it's gonna hurt a little bit. Actually, you've been collecting rent. You should be able to have it. I just realized this.
Yeah, no, I think I can cover this.
Yeah, you've got it. You've got it.
I can cover this.
I forgot you've been a landlord for the last few weeks. So yeah, he'll basically there's another sort of sort of, it's hard to tell. It's just sort of there's a place where you figure out you can sort of it's like putting it into a slot, even though it's just like it's a bow tie, and the orbs sort of vanish as you put them in there. And he says, "All right, off we go." And actually, he also, "Do you want a return receipt?"
No, I don't think we're gonna need one.
Actually, yes.
Oh.
Excellent. With or without signature?
With signature, actually.
That'll be another
to acknowledge my insult.
That'll be another 10 crystal orbs, please. Actually, it's probably not even that expensive.
We can afford that.
Yeah, if you can afford it, you
Yeah.
can put that in. Excellent. Off I go. And he vanishes. With your postage. Jaraneth looks over, like,
Well,
they're very brave, but they're very stupid. I don't know if he's coming back.
we'll find out one way or another.
I was gonna say, is there like I don't know if you can still do this, but it used to be like if you sent somebody something and they had to pay the postage, so like when they got it, they'd only have it if they paid the postage. They should have done that. It should be like the best person can pay.
I forgot. Yeah, no, I think that might still be a thing. Postage paid or something like that. I forget what that's called. But yeah, no, I remember that.
Term for it.
There is. But
Sounds like collect calling.
yeah, it is.
You willing to pay the charges?
It's like COD or something.
Yeah. Cash on delivery.
Yeah.
COD. But Darren also turned back to you. Will you be requiring anything else?
No, that'll do.
Excellent. And he'll whisk up the city planning book, and then melt back into forever.
Well, that was fun.
And the three of you are once again standing alone on the in the square, just outside the remains of the broken mirror. What would you like to do?
Well, that was exciting.
There's a way I can try to find the rest of the essence of names.
You want to try to track him down?
Yeah.
Yeah, there probably is a way to do it. It's a question of sort of figuring out sort of what happened and trying to find a way to trace it back to wherever it went.
Okay. Well, is there any other items of business that we need to attend to?
I feel like there's a lot of things that we need to attend to, but I don't know which one's the most important right now. Maybe we
Should we flip a coin?
Should we? I don't know. So I was gonna say maybe we should just start with finding Shantano's friend. If I feel like at this point I might explain that I kind of sort of know what that thing was. I don't really remember because of the whole removing Vance stuff from my brain, but I don't know if that information's helpful.
Yeah, there are things you could probably do.
Just like, because I know how it, well, if I know what it is, but I don't exactly know how it works, do I know enough that I can like try and track them down?
Let's see. So, basically, so one possibility would be to throw together some kind of a spell to see if you can work out where things went, right? So it basically would involve sort of going into the broken mirror and seeing if you can do some kind of detection spells, that sort of thing. Something like that, maybe. And again, it just sort of depends on how you feel you would do it, basically. What do you think your character's abilities would? How would you approach this?
I feel like at this point, Eroshka's magic is 99.9% vibes.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, there's that. There's things that people sometimes do when they're investigating things like this is they will go and they'll do some sort of spells to try to detect things. They might ask around to people who might know. If there's anyone they think might know more about it, they might do that. And then there's the seer option of basically trying to divine things magically. So I mean, those are like the big three different ways that people often will try to find information. But that again, it's just I'm generalizing here, so it's really up to you folks what you would how you want to tackle this.
I feel like, could I go in and see if there's any like maybe traces of the spell, like potentially on an object?
Sure. Okay. So, let me just take a look. Right now, you're just trying to detect the thing, so this is not going to require multiple successes since you're not trying to do anything to the magic. You're just trying to find it.
Yeah.
And get as much information as you can. So, let me first look at the thing. Let me look at the thing here. Right. As I once reopen the next necessary tome. Okay. Trying to think if he would have put any resistance on this one. I don't think... It was a similar idea, but he was working from a device, which makes it a little harder, I think, because he was trying to extract it. And unravel or work with figuring out both your own enchantments and then in Gilda's. So yeah, and this is again passive detection. Passive detection. You're not doing anything to it again. So yeah, this is level 10. Is going to be the challenge. Because I mean, it's still, Manfred that did it, obviously. So that's what we're starting with. What do you want to throw at it?
I really should level up some of my skills. I have magical lore.
Okay.
It's not a skill, but I feel like it's relevant. This is a thing that I made that I at least remember. It's not like one of my inventions that I'm like, oh,
that's
I
true.
made that.
It is,
like I'm aware of this invention.
You're aware of the situation. Yeah, okay. We can give you an asset there. So that's down to 8 or better.
I guess I could just throw some magic at it.
You could.
Sorry, there's a bug flying around my face. We're good now. I don't know if any traces of the spell would count as an object.
I think that does stretch the definition of your abilities just a bit.
Oh, there it is.
But I am going to pull up the effects by level table, though. Just if you want to, are you wanting to like throw a quick spell together, or is this, or do you have something already that you want to use?
I do not. I was looking through the spells artifact. I really need to go because I have like a whole bunch of acumen and crux and stuff. I really need to go through and like find some spells and stuff. But I don't currently, right at this moment in time, have the closest thing I might have is peering into hearts, but it has to be a being that is nearby, which I don't think is helpful in this scenario. Although I guess if I was making a spell, maybe I could like hack that one to peer into the heart of the spell.
Well, this is interesting though, because tell me about that one again.
The description of peering into hearts says, I look at a close being and know what their immediate thought is, what their current desire or intentions are, or why they're carrying out their current action. I can look at another close being each round as an action, but I can't look at anyone more than once. So,
I don't know if that's going to tell you where he is necessarily.
I think I was more looking for like if there was any traces of the spells, so if I could determine what changes maybe were made to it, or like how, you know what I mean?
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, no, I take your meaning. Yeah, no, that would be a little. I was thinking in terms of like using the essence of that Shantano's holding on to right now. Of the owner, but you were thinking of something else.
Yeah. Well, I think that like you said, I don't think that'd be helpful because I don't think he necessarily knows where he is.
Yeah. This is probably if you use magic, this could be a divination thing potentially. Let me so many books. We also open the way. Let's see if I've got the divination page here. Quickly go to notes, go to the prep section, PC planning. Nope, it's not there, so I'm going to go ahead and look in, do a search real quick. Divination, there it is. You use the level, this means it's harder to use magic to learn information. Get it in level 4 NPC. Yeah. So I mean, it's a divination possibly. You're looking for. Yeah. If you're looking for information about the spell specifically, this would probably. Yeah, you'd need to. It'd need to be probably at least the equivalent of a level 5 spell that you're going to throw at it. So that would just basically it would be a spell that would cost 5 sorcery to put together. If you're doing something like that, an effect like that.
I could do that. For sure.
Or like I'm going with rarely known information as opposed to. I mean, it could be secret information, which would be more like level 7. But the example.
Do that too.
Yeah.
8 sorcery.
So it depends on how deep of information how accurate do you want the spell to be, I guess is the question.
I think probably I want to save at least some sorcery for potential other stuff later, so maybe less deep.
So more like yeah. So if you go for if you go more like so, level 3 is commonly known, level 5 is rarely known, and
I think that would probably be good.
So if you want to put together, say like it's a level 5 effect, essentially. Which essentially you're just what you're doing is you're kit bashing magic right now as far as so unless you're basing it off of something else, then it's you spend sortilege and you're going to spend like 5 sorcery and try to make this work essentially as part of your looking around to give it the additional oomph that we're looking for.
Okay.
As far as I know, it works that way. We may have people yelling at me at some point about this probably. I don't know. But we'll find out. I feel like this feels like what we're looking for.
Like I said, I feel like Aroshka's magic is 99% vibes.
This is fair. So if you throw a level 5 thing at it, that'll knock it down from, I think we were down to 8. So that would be 3 or better on the die. And you'd get 2 dice because again you'd be spending 5 sorcery and 1 sortilege, and you'd be getting you get 2 dice.
Well,
is there anything else you want to throw at it?
I don't think I have anything else. There's so many things I just threw at it.
All right. You want to solicit help from anyone, or do you want to just get going?
I feel like I wouldn't think to ask for help, but if somebody offered me help, I wouldn't say no. So it depends on whether these 2 would require being asked or not.
Have you told me that you're helping me, or
probably because I think I was saying that like of all the things, instead of like flipping a coin or whatever, like of all the things we have to do, the most urgent would probably be finding your friend.
Yeah, I try and help them.
All right, what do you want to throw at it?
Would searching help?
Yeah, that's definitely going to help this. You have 1 level of that, right?
I have 2 levels. Actually.
You have 2 levels of it. Okay, so that'll actually knock it down to a 1 or better.
Ooh. All right. Give it a go.
All right. Okay.
Hey.
You got a 6 and a 4.
Hey.
Neither of those are zeros, so that was successful.
Neither of them.
What does this look like? The start of this look like if you're using magic?
I feel like at first I'm just kind of wandering around, and then maybe like I start to notice things, and it's almost like grabbing things that aren't there, but it looks like I'm like grabbing a thing here and like grabbing a thing here and kind of like putting them together like solving a little puzzle, so you can't see anything. It just appears to be all in my head.
Excellent. Okay. So you're going to sort out some things. You spent 5, so this is going to be rarely known information. So you're not going to pinpoint exactly where it is, but you're going to gain some insight. As you're doing this and you're looking around, you find in the corner of the room a very hard blue sphere, little one, about that big, where it had rolled. This is the little portal through which the essence was sucked, apparently, and this is what was left behind. Let me see what I can provide you with here as I search through here. Okay. Let's see. Okay. The thing that I'm trying to plug in here is recommending a series of puzzles. This is all going to be sort of under the same thing as you're looking through. You folks are going in, you're looking around, you find the sphere. And you see that that apparently yeah. So you sort of sense that there's a sense that there is definitely a form of let's think about this. Soul magic. Soul magic. Magic that displaces the soul. That would strike me as being possibly pale magic, but let me check. Yeah. So that's pale magic. But then you're also dealing with the essence of the thing itself. So there's the pull that you're feeling from this, from what you can tell, and from what you remember of the gun. And kind of the way that it works. A lot of the stuff, the sort of weapons that you had, including the one that you still have, that sort of more net gun-like thing, deals with stuff on the boundary of between the pale and the blue. There's a suggestion to you that the sphere is more on the blue side. This little sphere that you find. From the sphere that you find, you get the suggestion that it's probably more on the blue side. And I think as you're kind of casting this magic, and Shantanu is sort of feeling around for any emotion or anything that might be there, I think there is a sense through the sort of the essence that Shantanu you're holding on to right now, that there is some kind of a message trying to come through. And as the two of you are kind of looking around, it's you're sort of trying to figure out anything sort of connected to this, any way that you can do it. So first of all, it's probably somewhere in the blue. That's number one. Close to some border with the pale, which the weird thing about it really is that the pale does not border on the blue in the ordinary path of suns. So it's not it's not a direct route like that. There are other routes, of course. You've known about that since your trip with the mime. But and also there have been you folks actually have all seen evidence of that before. That the way back in the beginning at the World's Fair, there were spirits that kind of bordered, that were sort of border spirits for the pale and the blue, as you recall. And I think Mac has one of their business cards, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But that said, also, you'll kind of... I think it's like if you do sort of this thing where there's a little bit of a chanting to try to like reveal the thing, breathe life temporarily into something so we can see it. What are you trying to tell us? And what you will have is, it's as kind of as though when you're doing that around the room, there's a point where one of the there are all these books, and right now they look like very old and cobwebby. But for the back of the room, one of the books in which people would sometimes just pick up and write poetry in it, that kind of thing, or they would just sign the book and say who they are or where they're from. That one sort of flips open, kind of on its own. And this one page that someone came in and just scrawled kind of across the thing, across the page, "Join the Vinaceous at the celebrated cellar." And you can make that out very clearly as you're using this magic around the room before it cobwebs back up again.
I'm gonna turn around and ask if anybody's heard of that.
Let me see. Let me actually check the Welp. It is a summonable. It is an entity that that might be summonable through various means. So there's a chance Mac might have heard it at some point. You probably. It's one of those things. Was like, okay, I'm gonna. There are a few like. You don't actually. I don't think Mac knows a lot about it per se, because this is it's a semi-obscure thing. But I think you've heard of it. There's like it attaches. It's like a thing that attaches to a specific locale in some ways, and that like it can be summoned from a specific locale. And I think one of you might have seen flyers for a place called the Celebrated Cellar before. It's in Saturnine.
Cellar, as in a sub-level.
Yes, it's
room.
like a basement-like thing.
Is it a celebrated cellar in that it's a wine cellar?
Well, it might be actually. Especially, given that this
asking
creature is called the
important
Vinaceous, because that's an important question. Let me take a look. Let me actually figure out the. Let me go ahead and pull up the. There's a thing. There's a thing I need to pull up. As I use this motley of different things from different chapters. There's a. Is it here? Yes. Let me go ahead and see if I can send this over to you real quick in some fashion. Let me actually. That requires opening it in this other thing. Ah, technology. Okay, excellent. Excellent. Do that there. Real quick. Join the Vinaceous at the Celebrated Cellar was indeed the message. That was written there by some random individual. And I think let me go ahead and put this in here. I know this is just as I'm trying desperately to get everything into place. There's an image that I have that I'm going to show you in a moment. I just have to put it in the right place. Okay. Let me go ahead and now let me pull it up so you will see it in roll 20. Because we're going to go to the let me grab my Invisible Sun images and put it in there. I know this has got to be this has got to be terribly exciting as we watch me parse different files. But I think it's this is going to come up as again you're sort of it's like one of you has possibly like heard of this. Or it's like this sounds familiar and you're sort of digging around, and it turns out that you're going to find this flyer in that I'm now showing you in the corner. In this again bunch of cobwebs, but it's among a bunch of flyers that they sometimes put out by the windows, which are right now frosted over. So that is a thing that you will find. And I'm going to see if I can also grab this flyer to show the audience real quick. Because of course, let's do that as well. Let me just resize it so that it's not the size of an elephant. There we go. It'll actually appear in the thing. There we go. That's the thing. That's the thing that I've been talking about. There. A little flyer for a place called the Celebrated Cellar. There it is. So, they're strange and disjointed details, but these are the details that you find.
Well, I feel like maybe we should make a trip to this exciting wine cellar. Yes, no?
Yeah, sounds like where we need to go.
Let's go. This sounds interesting, actually.
Okay. So, off you head. Let's see. Celebrated Cellar, 443 Starling Street, in the Fade. Purveyor of fine wines, Saturine's finest vintages, tones, and flavors, featuring terroir wines from secret hidden places throughout the world. Thursday night wine tastings. It is not Thursday. I think Thursday is actually tomorrow in the in the present game, possibly, if I'm calculating correctly, which is a thing we shall get into later. So you're going to head out and go to the Fade. Then presumably, let's see, heading through the various streets. You have to head up once again, out through the gate, up into the hollows and over to the spine. Take the spine all the way up to the Fade. You can hop on a trolley and get up there. And let me go ahead and open up my info on the Fade real quick. The Fade. Okay, yeah. It's the main portion of it. You have these series of islands up. So sort of up in the sort of northeast portion of Saturnine. I do not, alas, I don't have a map of the Fade, but I do have a map of Saturnine, which I haven't showed everyone yet. In the in there that I finally put in. But there that is. Fade's in the upper right-hand corner. It's in the northeast. I think I have it here too. Let me transition over real quick so you can see. There's the map of Saturnine. So it's in the northeast of Saturnine, to see that series of islands that are sort of breaking up and drifting into nowhere. Is where they fade. It's in a way, if you know that piece, The Persistence of, it's sort of a different way of expressing the idea in The Persistence of Memory, which is the Dali thing with the melting clocks. This is actually sort of transitions from the persistence of memory to the dissolution of memory, where the images are breaking up into cubes. But this, you have this, you've been here before. This is the way that you go to get to the half-worlds. This series of islands. And, let us see. So, you are looking for the Celebrated Cellar. Once you head up there. It's a very, very little storefront. You track down the address. You're sort of going through the streets up here. The fade itself, as you're kind of looking at it, again, it drifts out in the abstraction, that place that where the things that seem concrete, and measurable and solid become even more true, which is to say less tangible and more abstract. Basically. Matter slowly breaking down, drifting ever into this sort of this emptiness, as these floating islands do. The abstraction, it's a tangible absence that draws air and everything toward it. It's not, it's mild here where you are. And it's very sort of ramshackle. A lot of older buildings clinging to each other. It's kind of like, if you build your, and maybe it wasn't always this way, but if you build your home in a place that that the erosion is going to take eventually, but you're at a point that you just don't care enough. Slowly, everything is going to fade into the abstraction, but that's a long ways off, probably. So this place, 443 Starlings Street. Just checking to see if it has it there. It does not. Okay. That's all right. It's not mentioned in Secrets of the Silent Streets, but that's okay. It's this very simple little storefront. This very out of the way, it's kind of almost next to an alley. And there is a broken clock just kind of leaning up against the wall. It's a clock is a single hand on the ground next to the entrance. The clock with a single hand, lying on the ground. It's next to the entrance of the place. It's basically what you're seeing there. Got sort of the paint chipping off of the front door. What would you like to do?
Is the clock look like it's placed there purposefully, or is it kind of just there?
Why don't you take a moment to look at it? It is a little weird, is probably the wrong word, especially to use in a world like this. But it kind of feels placed now that you look at it. It has some kind of a purpose being there.
Weird. Can I ask the clock why it's there?
You certainly may. Let's see. Oh, hello.
Hi. We were just wondering if you were lying on the floor there on purpose.
Oh, yes.
What purpose are you lying on the floor for?
Oh. Actually, what am I doing? I need to draw a card. Let me draw a card real quick so that I can get some sense of something. Here's the thing I need to do. We've done it. We're in a new scene. I needed to draw a card so that I can see how this clock is feeling right now, if nothing else. All
Very
right.
important.
It is. It's very important. Okay. So, let's see. Oh, interesting. Okay. So, the card that I have drawn here is the Crowded Tomb. That should be fine. It should be just fine.
That's not even slightly ominous.
Not at all. Not at all.
I mean, for a place like the Celebrated Cellar,
That's true.
I mean, yeah.
it sounds like a party.
It does, doesn't it? Its meanings are endings, despair, and completion. The tomb lies at the end of all stories, the reward for the greatest monarch and the lowliest beggar. Of course, the tomb is crowded. It grows more crowded each day. Mourners crowd around the tomb, but it is even more crowded within. So many deaths, so many endings. Crowded Tomb is the location card of the Secrets family and thus represents a permanence or is related to a physical place. This means that the finality that it represents probably occurs in a specific and significant location. In divination, the Crowded Tomb is an ending. Not necessarily a sudden ending, an ending that you know full well is coming, whether you acknowledge it or not. It might just mean that a task is finished. It doesn't always need to be sad. Everything needs to end sometime. But there is an air of despair to this card. Not outright misery, perhaps, but a lingering sadness, a mourning. Okay. So, the clock responds to you, Aroshka. Why is it important?
I guess it isn't. I was just curious. Usually clocks aren't found on the ground. I wanted to make sure you were okay.
Okay. Nothing's okay. You're all about to die, probably.
Hope not.
I mean, it's inevitable, you know.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I have things to do first.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I mean, I can feel him. He's sort of picking at the wall
Who is
between places.
Who is he?
I mean, the one that's probably supposed to trap you.
Should I know about someone trying to trap me?
I mean, is it gonna matter?
I mean, yeah. I would say the answer to that question is yes.
I mean, if he doesn't trap you, then you know, and you do like get through. I mean, if it doesn't trap you, and I mean, I let you through and all that the other way, then I mean, he's probably just going to trap you on the other side somewhere. And what's the point?
Historically, I have been really hard to trap. So look, we're looking for somebody's friend. It's very important.
I mean, I mean, what's the point of even holding on to friends? They all pass away eventually.
But then you have nice
That seems
memories.
awfully dark.
I know, I'm like struggling over here. I need help with this depressing clock.
Yeah. Memories. Huh. Memories were good things once, weren't they? I don't know.
I mean, actually, I feel like I'm the worst person to answer the question.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
spent a whole lot of time and effort getting rid of all of my memories.
Most people looking at the likes of me, I don't know, they either aren't worried about, back in the old days, they weren't worried about, when I was still functioning, they weren't worried. When I was still actually a clock, they weren't worried about memories so much as they were worried about getting, how soon they were worried about the future, not the past. Now, I don't know. Folks look at me sadly, and that's about it. Well, aside from the ones who are using me for that other thing. But,
the other thing?
Yeah, the other thing.
Could you elaborate?
I mean, like, yeah, as you know, it's just...
I very specifically do not know.
I mean, do you have the... I mean, the other thing is, I don't know, you got the code?
There's a code.
Yeah, there's a code.
I say that out loud so that the people who can't hear the clock can start contemplating the subject of codes. I like waggle my eyebrows pointedly.
Yeah, I mean, if you got the code, then you just, you do the... You set the hand to the place, and then I call him for you. Like, not him, but the other one. I don't know.
There's two hymns. I
don't know. I didn't even bother to. I don't know. They do that thing where it's like they... It's hard to know, really. I mean, that's the thing, is that they have this weird kind of, rivalry, I guess. I don't know. I don't pay attention to that.
They have a rivalry?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, it's weird. They both have, like, start with the letter V, but that's about it. I don't understand it.
I'm repeating many of these things pointedly out loud. Oh, okay. Do we know any rivals? I don't know many rivals, but
rivals to the Vinaceous.
No time on the invitations, I don't think.
There's a yeah. Let me see. Possibly. If they're talking about, well, you know, if they're talking about the Vinaceous, then the Vinaceous might have another rival from like the Blue or something. Possibly. That's sort of kicking around in your various lore brains.
So basically, if we have the password, we can summon one of two people, and we think one of them is the Vinaceous and the other one is the rival of the Vinaceous?
Yes. That's perhaps what you're thinking. Well, that's what you're thinking, right? I assume you're asking me this out of character. Or are you asking the clock
Yes,
this?
no, that is me asking out of character.
Yeah, based on what you've been coming up with, you'd think that provided everyone's sharing the information they've been accumulating, yes, that basically the Vinaceous is, you might be able to summon you'd be able to summon either the Vinaceous or the rival of the Vinaceous from the way things sound here. Apparently they both have an interest in this place specifically. You're not sure why. But there it is.
I guess I'm gonna say to the clock, like, thanks. I'll be back in a minute.
Really? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, where are you headed?
Just over there to talk to my friends.
All right. Good luck.
I'm concerned that you feel I need luck in this situation, but thank you. Clock friend. All right. What do we think? Is this useful to finding? I can never remember Shantano's friend's name. I should write it down.
Yeah, Cleland.
What is it? Cleland.
I will copy paste it. I think if I can do that. Can I do that? Or I'll just write it down here. There it is.
I don't know. I can't. Got anything that deals with the time for here?
Do we know any? This is once again Arras asking, and not
Yes.
Arushka. Do we know anything about the Vinaceous that might help us figure out what this password is?
Well, what would probably be helpful is, again, if you wanted to, there's the possibility of looking information up, or the possibility of looking for, codes in the information you have already. It's possible to do that. It depends on sort of what tactic you want to take here. The information that you'd have already on the Vinaceous is vague, but there, certainly more can be gleaned from sources. So that's a possibility. There's also, again, there's asking around, there's asking this clock some more questions, or there's also, like divining things. It just depends on how you want to handle it.
am gonna ask Mac for advice on convincing this clock to tell me what I want. Slash. Well, yeah, basically. Do you have any advice? I'm not really good. Slash, this clock is really depressing. My usual tactics aren't working.
So, I'm guessing violence isn't an answer.
I would rather not. The clock didn't do anything as far as I'm aware, but
Mac is just going to investigate the clock a little bit more. Are there any like winding mechanisms there by any chance?
Yeah, you look at as you sort of bend down, you look at it. It looks like the hand that's still attached is probably can still be wound in one direction or another. It can be the hand is movable.
Maybe if you try moving the hand around and winding it up, maybe it'll give it a little more, pep.
I will go back over to the clock and I will first politely ask it if it would like to be wound. I'm probably gonna do it anyways, but perhaps it will be happier if it really wanted this instead of me just doing it.
And it's like, I mean, that's what everyone who uses me for is, they use me to make contact. So, I mean, if that's what you're doing, sure.
I thought the password was a first step in that process, so I wasn't sure if it was okay to do the winding first.
I mean, that's how if you know the numbers you want to put in, then that's how you do it.
I don't. That seems really risky. Well, I'm turning back to Mac and Chanto now. I guess if we wind the clock, that causes it to summon things. I worry that if we just wind it to a random number, we might not be pleased with the result. Maybe? I don't know.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
The eternal question.
I feel like with this group, either it will go really, really well, or it will be total mayhem.
No. Something I will offer, if folks would like, as you're looking at this, staring at this clock. Anyone who's examining the clock, I'm sure we can. Yeah. That if you want to do a thing where you're like examining the thing and trying to figure it out based on what it could mean, based on various lores or what have you, then you can attempt to do that if you would like. The challenge rating to figure out kind of what you need from the clock would be like a 7 if you wanted to tackle it that way.
Ooh. But it's not magic, right? So there be...
Well, magic is perhaps involved. You would assume that the clock is more than just a clock, but
That's true. Well, I meant if I investigate challenge rating of 7 and I fail, is something really terrible going to happen? Well, let's give it a go.
Okay.
Why not? What's the worst that could happen?
I can't wait to find out.
The vibes in this room are really off. We're gonna give it a go anyways. Vibes-based magic hasn't failed me yet today, so The only potential useful skill I think I maybe, well, I don't know. I have magical lore or understanding people's motives.
Okay. So, okay, sorry, we're starting from 7. And magical lore will help you here.
Okay.
So you've got,
That's all I got.
you got 1 level in magical lore?
Yep, just
Okay.
the one. Really
That'll
need
kick
to upgrade some of these things.
That'll kick it down to a 6 or better. You want to do anything else or get help?
I definitely will ask for help. Actually, out loud this time because my confidence level is significantly lower in this scenario.
I'm searching again. Seeing through-
Searching specifically, I don't think is going to help you in this instance.
Am I investigating the clock or am I like I have persuasion, you know, I persuade the clock.
Oh, that's a
deception. I don't think that'll help.
So clearly there's something going on. Or if you all, I mean, if you also have some kind of magical lore, that might help here. If you wanted to use that.
Yeah, I have 2 levels of magical lore.
You want to use that?
Sure.
That,
Yeah, that'll knock it down to a 4. 4 or better. You want to do anything else to this? Or?
no, I'm not gonna use magic this time. I just used a whole
Any or
bunch of
anything?
magic
Okay.
to get us here.
All right.
Well,
So it's 4 or better right now. See if you can sort it out, and you'll learn something one way or the other. Okay, you got a 6. Wait, no, I'm sorry, that was the roll that you made already. I was looking.
oh
at
yeah,
everything.
yeah. I haven't done it
You haven't
yet.
done it
It's
yet,
just
okay.
one this time.
So,
It's just one this
Well,
time,
it's
right?
1 die. Yeah, 1 die this time. It's a D10. Did you want to do anything else before rolling, or?
I mean, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that would be useful that isn't sorcery.
If you want to spend a bene,
Sure.
that'll
why
take
not?
it down
I don't think
to
we should-
3 or better. You need to spend it from your. Well, I don't know. Let me see. Let's see which pool is the best pool to spend this from.
Yeah.
Let me find the. Oh, right. Now let me open the pool sheet so that I can actually pool sheet. I can see again the thing. So yeah, this would probably be intellect. If you wanted to spend an intellect penny on this, you could do that.
Sure.
All right.
Let's do it.
So that'd be 3 or better.
Yay!
You got what you needed. All right.
Normally, I'm not this lucky when rolling.
No, it's fine. It's fine. So here's the thing with this clock. As you're looking at it, and it's like, okay. As you and Shantano in particular are looking at it and trying to figure this thing out, it's like, okay, so this has a connection to this being that is going to be, yeah. Let me see here. Wait, let me find the, let me find it. This being that is in the blue, right? Or is coming from the blue in some way. So that means if you're going for the number of the blue sun, on the day side is 3, but on the night side is 15. So if you want the day side, it would be a single turn to the 3, but if it's the night side, which is likely given the type of magic this is that has been employed. The type of magic that has been employed, I should say. Then you'd want to find a way to turn to numbers that add up to 15.
There's only one hand on the clock.
There's only one hand on the clock.
And
And
it's
it has-
not like
It has 12 numbers on it going all the way, as it would on a clock face.
well, because like it's 3 and 15, right? But 1500 is also 3 o'clock. Maybe it just went to 3 twice.
Possibility. There are some things you could do. Yeah, and actually, it's sort of also because this is Jim's philosophy with puzzles. Of the three of you, which character is best at math? Do we think?
Which character is best at math?
Yes. Which of your character? Shantanu, Aroshka, or Mac? Which of you is best at math?
No, not shot.
Definitely not me. Definitely not Mac.
I guess maybe being a former evil genius inventor, maybe I was pretty decent at math.
Previous Aroshka definitely would have been better at math than anyone.
Let's hope current Aroshka has maintained some of those skills.
So, you want to try to tap into those skills now? Try to think back and remember?
Sure. Tapping into past Aroshka skills has historically not gone well, but why not? I feel like Aroshka's probably pretty mad at the whole after the contract thing. She's probably a little pissed. So we're maybe vibing a little bit with previous Aroshka.
Yeah. Okay.
Who's very attitude is a little mine, and fuck you. So
Okay. So, Pastor Aroshka would probably think, I'm guessing, this is up to your subject to your approval again. But my guess is that Pastor Aroshka would probably be thinking something along the lines of, okay, how much of a smartass was the person who set this up? And so, there's the possibility of turning it to 3, and that would be 1,500 hours, but then that would also be, the trouble there is that it would also be 3 o'clock.
3, yeah.
So, if you want 2 numbers, you have one hand, and you want it to point to as close as it can to 2 numbers that add up to 15. Where on the clock would you point it?
I guess between the 7 and the 8.
That is most likely to be the solution based on what you're calculating.
Well, let's give it a go. I guess I will check with my friends first to make sure they're cool with me doing that.
Mac just gives a double thumbs up.
Let's do it.
You gonna do it?
Yeah. What's the worst that can happen?
I'm gonna draw a card.
Oh boy.
All right. Well, interesting. Okay. So, the card that I have drawn this time, this is a card we've had before. It's card number 25. It is the Enticing Jewel.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
It is under the invisible sun. So let's snuff out the sun real quick. There we go.
Just get rid of it.
It's a Visions card. And
Cool.
let's
Cool.
go back and look at the Enticing Jewel again.
Wait, I think vision. That's me. Visions.
Its meanings are greed, money, beauty, goals, and success. The light at the end of the tunnel, the brass ring, the center of the target, the object of our desire lies before us in the form of the Enticing Jewel. We want it, we have to have it. It represents beauty, but the side of beauty that demands attention and probably possession. It is the beauty that can sometimes call to our darker natures. It brings out greed, ambition, and selfishness. When the Enticing Jewel is turned, everything focuses upon it. Most of the time, this is one of the most positive cards that can be revealed. It indicates success in one's endeavor. It suggests beauty and wealth. At the very least, even if not actual success, the Enticing Jewel is the potential for success, which in itself can be encouraging because sometimes there is no possibility for success. Still, the card has a darker side because it also suggests greed and a love of wealth and the dangers of such things. So, it's kind of like hitting the jackpot, actually, when you turn it. I'm not saying lights come up and coins pour out. It's not quite like that. Something else does pour out, though. It's like...
Is it wine?
Wouldn't that be great? That which pours out. As you do this. Okay. These. Okay. This sort of, as you do this, there's this humming, right? It clicks into place. There's this humming. And this sort of blue little sort of, it's not exactly a portal, but this gash seems to open above the clock, and out of it pours all of these little glass pieces, semi-precious stones, and cloth. They're all the color of red wine. It looks for a moment like wine is gushing out, then you see what it is. And it assembles itself. To stand in front of you, the outline of a person made up of all of these things. When it finally comes to its full form, it says, "Released at last. I thank you."
You're
It
welcome,
bows.
I guess.
It bows its head to you. How may I assist you?
I don't suppose you've seen, what was it called? Soul got pulled away, right?
I have what's the rest of his essence?
What's the rest of those? I don't suppose you've seen one essence minus a soul pass through here.
Ah. See is an interesting way to put it, as given where I have been. But yes. Yes. The vermiculated mind has been fed.
The what now?
My sworn foe, the vermiculated mind.
No,
It is.
I don't like the way that sounds.
It draws in. When someone unleashes it, someone has unleashed it, and it now draws in. And toys with that which it draws. the souls that venture beyond into realms of pure thought.
Well, that sounds terrible. I need the essence back.
Ah.
Yeah, I have the soul, so it's just the essence.
Ah, yes, good. Well then, we'd have to go and take it from them. Go and take it back.
Yes.
Would you come to stand and fight the vermiculated mind in the realm of blue?
I guess if we have to.
Excellent. I can bring us into that realm. And all need be done is to open the path.
What does that entail?
And it will reach sort of into itself and produce out of itself, again, its pieces shifting around. Shantanu, this actually, it doesn't look 100% familiar, but it looks familiar enough. The fact that this is a person made of moving pieces. So this probably weirds you out the least. It produces a goblet into which you see filling up with a red wine. And it says, "You need only be stalwart and drink, and the path shall become clear to you." Now, this strikes me actually as a decent place to, since we have gone a couple of hours at this point. This strikes me as a decent place to bookmark it if we're thinking that. How does that sound to you folks? Is that good, or do we want to venture on a bit? There would be a couple of things to do in the blue.
This is sounding bigger than I thought it would be.
I'm sorry?
This is sounding like a bigger adventure than I thought it would
This is perhaps a little bit bigger than a trip to the corner shop, yes. Do we want to bookmark it and come back to it next week?
I definitely feel like I don't want to make any deals with weird wine spirits.
I'm not. Thanks.
Well, then maybe we could make some deals with weird wine spirits.
So what do we think? Are we? I'm sorry?
Yeah, sounds good.
Does that sounds good to bookmarking, or sounds good to
To
getting-
bookmarking.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's right. Okay, so yeah, I think yeah, since we're at time basically, so I think if you don't mind, I think we'll go ahead and stop here, and then next week we'll come back and see and we'll see what happens as this offer has been made. If you drink of this essence that allows you to see the path. I'm sure it'll be just fine. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Squints.
Excellent. All right, well, we're going to go ahead then, and we will do our let's do our joy and despair as we're doing setting this up. And so starting out once again in initial order, we will start with Wilde. Do we think that Shantanu got any joy or any despair today? I'm sorry. What was that?
No, I don't think they got either joy or despair.
Okay. It's just fine. Yeah. And let me see. I think this is number 56. I'm not sure. I think it is. Now over to Arras. Do we think that Aroshka has gotten any joy or despair thus far today?
I'm sort of tempted to say maybe joy because it's two things that I've tried to be really successful and haven't backfired. Maybe just backfired, but I guess we'll find out next time. But we've doing good.
You've been figuring stuff out, so I mean, yeah, if you think that
Yeah.
warrants a joy, then we can do that. All right. And Anino, do we think that Mac has gotten any joy or despair today?
I'm gonna say that Mac got joy because, well, he was able to use his summoning to stick it to the Vespertine.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
That was truly a joyful experience all around.
is, yes. You told them where to stick it. All right, excellent. Now this is one of those one of those sort of looking around, figuring things out episodes. So I mean, we have plenty of those. But it's I think we got to a good sort of point where it's like, okay, we can see the thing coming. And so I think that's going to be very cool to sort of see what happens. Also, I will admit there was a little bit of I was scrambling around a lot on this end because I didn't actually know what direction anyone was going to go in, so I had to just sort of figure out which bits to plug in. I have the entirety of the directed campaign now, at least for the path that we've chosen. So now I just have to sort of like use bits and pieces as we throw it in. So it's interesting. It's interesting. So we're going to go ahead now and go around and do our outros. And feel free, once again, to tell folks where they can find you and any final thoughts you might have about the session today. So we're going to start, or like the game overall, or whatever. We are going to start, once again, with Anino.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Anino. You can find me on Twitter at Anino4K. This is the only place you can find me right now, so tune in next week for more shenanigans. Yeah, that's about it.
Awesome. Any other final thoughts you want to express before we move on?
I think the others who are not here currently are going to enjoy the cellar. Looking forward to it.
I think so. This will be interesting. And now let us head over to Arras.
Hello, I'm Arras, or Animus Panthera, or Animus.Panthera, practically everywhere on the internet. I'm a real-life zoologist, also a cosplayer and tabletop gamer. So if you want to talk to me about any of those things, I'm always happy to chat. I'm mostly on Twitter. The only place you can find me playing games on the internet is right here on Playing Invisible Sun. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot going on right at the moment. I am also very excited about this setup for when everybody else comes back and discovers that we have made our way into a wine cellar and are making suspicious deals with weird wine spirits.
Only good choices.
We're just having a wonderful time right now.
Good choices only. Excellent. Finally, over to Wilde.
Yes, hi, I'm Wilde, Wild Engineer on Twitch and Twitter. You can find me here. It's about right now it's the only real thing I'm doing online. So yeah, I definitely think that everyone will enjoy the wine cellar after we deal with whatever's coming. But yeah, hopefully I might manage to get Cleveland's essence back, because I think eventually Chantanel's going to just dwindle down to nothing if they keep keeping parts of themselves.
Excellent. Yeah. It will be interesting to see how the wine how the reaction to the whole wine thing goes. But we'll see how this goes. All right. So, what does that leave? That leaves me. I'm Jim. You can find me at OtherDoc on both Twitch and Twitter. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. I have links down below to my website, Twitter, YouTube channel, and various other things, including games I'm developing, strangely enough, over at itch. itch.io. On this channel, on Wednesday, we will have the finale of Void's End. This is a short campaign that I'm doing that's a space noir game that's a mashup of Dirty Secrets and Durance and In a Wicked Age, rules-wise, that seem to be doing pretty well. I really have been enjoying it, as we've been doing this investigation on a distant planet of a murder and a theft and a blackmail. And we're going to wrap it all up on Wednesday, so that'll be fun. And then, of course, on Saturday nights we have this. And so I am very much looking forward to seeing the now that we have kind of a as it started again, as I said, as we started out, I didn't know what direction things were going to go in, but now that I know the direction, I can now actually dig in, and we're going to get to see the blue. I think probably, depending on how people deal with the wine creature, then we might actually get to see the blue for the first time. So I'm very excited about that. So very much looking forward to it. Yea, though it be the blues night side. All right, excellent. So when we hit the end card, we're going to go ahead and send a raid over to somebody. There are a few places doing things right now. Let's see. It's probably going to be either like, let's see, Onyx Path is doing something. There, okay. Dead Aussie Gamer is doing some kind of review. Time Lord's Wife is doing a Jackbox Party thing. Actually, I haven't rated them before. We might go ahead and do that. So probably one of them. Feel free to hang on and say hi to them with us. That again will be when we hit the end card. In the meantime, folks, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and we will catch you next time. Farewell.